the formerly known Texas Whisperer. He broke up with them and he said, I wish you well, good friend. I bid you adieu, but I can no longer predict who you are and who I am. And the Whisperer was retired. And I just want to say to all the fans in the comment section and all the Brickyardians, whatever you want to call us, we're back, baby. The Texans Whisperer's back. I know I'm wearing a bunch of Cardinals merch, but the Whisperer, he was only on vacation, okay? He took a trip down to Glendale, but he's back, baby. Best believe the Texans are back. They had a great game. CJ Stroud looking like an absolute dude so far. I think, of the quarterbacks that were drafted, I like what I saw from Anthony Richardson, but so far, the one that's impressed me the most, I think it's CJ Stroud, making some big throws. It's not like he has the best offensive line personnel around him. Tank Dell had a great game for them. I think he's going to be their number one in no time if he's not already. And their defense, we saw Will Anderson sighting, forced a fumble, made some big plays for them. That defense, D'Amico Ryans under helm, I think that they're going to start, playing a lot of upset ball. And then for the Jags, what was this? Guys, the Chiefs, they lost Travis Kelce to start the season and Chris Jones. So they're sputtering a little bit. And then you have the Bengals. We don't know what's going on with them. The Ravens have some injuries. The Bills, you don't know whether they're going to be the world beaters or they're going to be the beater of worlds each week. You don't know which Josh Allen you're going to get, So, the Jags, I'm really disappointed with how they play the first 3 weeks of the season. I get that you've had some divisional matchups, but why are you 1-2? And what is wrong with this offense? I mean, I know we have Calvin Ridley. He's new, but everybody else on this team isn't new. You have Christian Kirk. He's been in the system. This is his second year. Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he's a guy, right? He's a top 5 quarterback to some people.
Supposed to be.
And it's not like their running game's terrible. Travis Etienne's a baller. Tank Bigsby, he's been good for them. What's going on with them? Because, I mean, I know that this is a divisional game, but why did you get fried in this game? So I'm confused with the Jags. I think they'll be fine, but I'm worried about, this is your opportunity. And right now I feel like they're screwing it up.
Yeah, with the Jags, when I rewatched this game, I've never seen one team collectively combine to fuck themselves over as much as the Jags did in this game, whether it was special teams and getting a field goal blocked, whether it was a fumble when they were driving down the field, because they had some drives where they were going it and then they were going down the field and then there was a fumble and then, okay, drives over. The run game. Come on, guys. They couldn't even they haven't been able to get a solid running game going at all so far this season. I don't know if it's the offensive line needing time to gel. I don't know if it's Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby, being adverse to each other and they don't really know who the guy is yet. And then on offense, everything looks hard and it shouldn't. You have Christian Kirk on this team, you have Calvin Ridley on this team, you have Evan Ingram on this team, and it's still a little too much of just, okay, throwing screens, throwing out routes, not enough pushing the ball down the field, and they haven't been able to get the run game going. And then against the Texans, your defense got absolutely cooked. And it's there was a point in this game where I thought the Jags were about to come back. They were driving down the field, I think, right out of halftime. They march down the field, score a touchdown. Looks like they're marching down the field again. And then there's the fumble. Okay. And then the Texans score again off of that. No problem. Trevor Lawrence starts to push the ball down the field and then he throws a bad interception. So it's not just Trevor. It's not just the defense. It's not just the run game. It's everything as a whole is just out of whack with this Jacksonville Jaguars team. And it doesn't help that no one shows up at all. That stadium was pretty pathetic. It's I get it was at the end of the half, but it was at one point I was there's no one there.
Yeah.
So that's a problem for some of these franchises where they don't have fans, which is a huge problem, especially when you're going up against the Houston Texans team where the humidity in Jacksonville really isn't an advantage. Houston is just as humid as Jacksonville. They're used to playing in that environment. And then CJ Stroud, I mean, the guy's put up good numbers in the first 2 weeks. There was a lot of junk yards in that Colts game. So I was okay, we'll see. But I think, threw over 200 passes without an interception. And then some of the routes he was throwing to Robert Woods, okay, boom, on time, accurate. These are some of the throws that I want to see. Someone who should be polished, like Kenny Pickett, hit. Someone like Jordan Love, I want to see them hitting those throws. And CJ Stroud out of the gate is already hitting them. Brevin said, yeah, CJ Stroud is the dude. He is a guy on this team. And with minimal help on offense, minimal weapons, Damian Pierce not having the best running game in this one. And then you have a young receiving core with John Mechie and Tank Dell. And then you have good old Bobby Trees there. You signed Dalton Schultz. Like, it's not the greatest weapons in the world, but CJ Stroud is so far making the most out of it. For a dysfunctional Texans franchise, seems like D'Amico Ryans was really able to step in there and put his early imprint on there, where in the draft, he made a statement. He's like, all right, we're going to get our quarterback and we're going to get our pass rusher. And so far, they're both making plays and they're both making an impact for this franchise. So it's like, for the Texans, do I think they'll make the playoffs? No. But I think they're one of those teams where you look up and they're like, oh, that's weird. They have 7 wins.
Yeah, I think they're a good, bad team. Like, you know, their defense, they have some pieces. Their offense, you know, CJ Stroud getting into rhythm. I think they're going to play a lot of upset ball. And this is a prime upset, you know, game that we're talking about here, where they shouldn't win this game against the Jags. The Jags are, you know, anointed as contenders in the AFC, but they went in there, punched them in the mouth, and got the win. And I think there's going to be more games like this in the future with them, with, you know, Tank Dell. I think Tank Dell's really going to start to fly for them. He's probably their most electric wide receiver they have, and I'm excited to see them move forward. And the Texans whisperer, he's back, baby.